Hi, welcome to Dumb Thick, where you're dumb and we're thick.
On today's episode, I'm going to convince Ben that he's a psychopath.
Roll the intro.
Hey, this is Tell recording in from Auburn, Alabama.
Hey, this is Grayson recording from Florence, Alabama.
And hey, this is Ben recording from Knoxville, Tennessee. Welcome to the podcast, guys. That's our first time running through with our names in the very beginning. I thought it went pretty well. We have a lot of stuff going on in this podcast and some new stuff. We are recording this on video. It's our first video podcast, and I wanted to bring that up in the very beginning in case you think, hey, maybe I want to watch these goobers talk. Well, now you can. It's on youtube.com/dumbthick, and you can check us all out. That's exciting new information. We have a lot of stuff to get through today. But before we start, I mean, how are we doing, guys? We literally haven't talked in like a week.
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
Yeah, things are going good.
All right, well,
School's a little stressful, but
I'm fully expecting to at least try to start a fight in this episode in many ways. So,
Sweet.
my first topic of the day is I want us to rank each other on who is the dumbest and who is the smartest out of the three of us. So obviously I have my opinions, but I would like to hear yours too. So, Grayson, you go first. What do you think?
dude, I don't know. It's hard because you got to categorize it. Because if I ask you questions about medication, you're going to look at me like I'm stupid. But if I ask you questions, or if you put a tuba on my face, you know what I mean? Or ask me questions about...
I feel like we can talk about like general smartness. Is that...
General
smartness? If we're talking about just the capacity to learn, is that what we're talking about?
I feel like, yeah, that would make sense. And retain things, I guess. The first thing that pops up into my head is...
That changes it, maybe.
The first thing that pops up into my head is I think Grayson says a lot of wise things. Like, he says a lot of stuff, and he goes for deep things, and it hits sometimes, but then other times it doesn't hit. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And then Tell is just floundering on his words a lot of the time.
That's a fair assessment. I would agree with both of everything you've said so far.
Those are
true.
Those are the things that pop into my head. And but the thing is I have a hard time ranking myself. So I really want to hear where you guys rank me, because I would like to think that I'm smart.
Well,
but I'm not.
The thing is, Ben, if we're
God.
just looking at
time out. It's never good.
I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. So if you only know us through the podcast, or even if you just know us in a social aspect, you're gonna think that Ben is the smartest, probably.
Amen.
But let me tell you, sorry about this, Ben. I think on a scale of the three of us, I think you're the least intelligent in like a learning and retaining information sense.
See, I would say the exact same for you.
No, I would be at the top.
What makes you say I am that way?
Well, I think if we go to let's talk about school for a second. Who did the best in school? Grayson did.
Mm-hmm.
In high school. Not to say he's doing bad in college. He's doing great in college. But like Grayson does try in school, he studies, he does his work to get those grades,
Yeah, okay.
Ben,
mm-hmm.
I don't think you did
going.
Fine. You didn't do great, did you, in school? I did good. What'd you do in school? What'd you make?
What did I do in school? Well, I mean, what do you mean? What was your GPA at the end of your time?
I don't know, 4.0 probably.
It was 4.0?
Oh, not in college. In college, it was a 3.53.
Yeah, I was a 3.6. So if we're just talking about GPA.
Yeah, but let's talk about, I did engineering and you did music performance, so...
Yeah, but
not to bash music performance, but that's a different skill set than learning.
But that's why we're talking.
Things.
But that's why we're talking about being able to take things in. So the things that I was given to take in were not necessarily any easier
Okay.
I would argue.
Let's talk about movies then. I can quote you movies all day long, right? I just watch it and I took the whole movie in, right?
What an observation. Yeah, okay. He went from GPA, this argument's not working. Well, movies.
See, that's my point. It depends on what you ask about. Like, you can't just put intelligence in one general aspect.
Well,
you gotta
I've got another
sections.
Yeah.
I've got a point. Hold on, you've been talking a lot.
Okay.
So you said at the beginning. You said at the beginning. You said at the beginning that if you just know us by a little bit, or you know us off of the podcast, then you would think Ben is the smartest. And I think that is because I am very good at reading people, and I'm very well spoken. So in that sense of the way, I think I come across as smarter. And so isn't that what counts?
Maybe. I would argue that I'm very emotionally intelligent, but not
yeah, you say that all the time.
Intelligent. It's true though. It's true.
Okay.
Ask anybody I have.
So what? You see somebody that is upset, and you're like, they're upset, but you don't know how to help them, so it doesn't really do anything.
Sure.
Ben, you just see him. Ben just sees him, and he's like, not my problem. And you just keep walking, right?
No, I'm a helpful person. I feel like I can sense somebody's being upset, and I know how to. I can be with them. Like I can be there for them.
Maybe. All right. So what? Autistic people. All right.
Let's watch our step.
No, autistic people are typically smarter than the average person, but they're socially not as well off as the average person. So I'm arguing that I would, out of the three of us, I would, if there's an autistic level of scale, I would be higher up autistically. You know what I'm saying?
Wait.
Did you just compare yourself?
I don't think you can say that.
Oh my god.
I can't say that.
So you're saying that you're
no, you literally just said I'm on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Like
everybody's on the scale.
Like in school, they probably should have rated me on the spectrum.
Right. Oh, what I'm saying is that I'm socially inept, but I think I'm smarter than you guys.
I think so here's
my social aspect, I can't portray that.
Yeah, but here's my argument. Like, I've no offense to Tell, but there's never been a point where I'm like, Tell has done, like, I see Tell and I'm like, that was smart. You know what I mean? And maybe there isn't for me, but my argument is that Grayson is in the lead because of he says audibly smart things. And maybe you want to argue that because he does say audibly stupid things more often. But I think the argument for me is who's the dumbest, which makes sense because we're dumb thick. That's right. The name of the pod. But I definitely don't think Grayson is the dumbest.
Okay.
That's my thoughts. Grayson, you're feeling good about that, I bet.
But Grayson absolutely says the dumbest stuff out of the three of us.
He's just a spacey dude.
But I think the reason why you're able to accept the fact that I do say wise things at times is because I'm never like confident when I'm wrong. Like usually I'll admit and be open about the fact that I'm wrong, and we'll move on. And if apologies needed, I'll apologize. You know, is that agreeable?
So it's all a ploy. So Grayson's not actually saying wise things. It just seems wise compared to his normal stupid self.
Yeah.
Is that
I think that kind of convinced me otherwise, Grayson. So maybe that wasn't one of your greatest moments.
Classic.
I don't think there's a real way to figure this out, but I do have an idea for another podcast where it's where we take an IQ test and discuss our scores.
That would be fun.
I think we definitely need to do that. So we can kind of treat this as our little teaser for that. So, send us an email if you think that's a great idea. But we can move on to our next topic. I just wanted to kind of get us riled up.
Just to cap that off, though, I mean, I'm the smartest. We didn't decide who was the dumbest, but like, I'm definitely the smartest.
All we said is that you're not the stupidest.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm more confident with that.
But like, if you ain't first, you're last, and technically I'm not last. So in this scenario, I'm first. And so
then once we take the IQ test,
Right.
we find out.
You know what?
And then
done.
I'm sick.
Then
that
everyone's
week.
gonna be on my team because I'm pretty confident.
I will be interested. We'll definitely do that one of these days, and we can make a whole podcast on arguing about our IQ test.
Yeah, we definitely could.
That'll be fun. All right, well, so before we get too mad at each other, let's move on to Tell insulting me and calling me crazy.
Yeah.
Go for it. He's yawning. He must not be having a good time.
Yep. So actually, that was a test. Both of you failed.
Oh, we're supposed to yawn back? That's only if you care about what the person's doing or saying.
Well,
I don't.
Psychopaths do not they lack empathy. And yawning, if you contagiously yawn, that shows that you have empathy for that person. So the fact that neither of you yawned shows that you're already on the path to being a psychopath.
But again, I will say, I just truly don't care about you. If Grayson had yawned, I probably would have yawned with him.
But in person, though, I always yawn when I see people yawn, and I have to like not look at them. So
well, that's what I'm saying. Grayson, I don't think he's a psychopath. Ben,
thank you.
He definitely could be.
I just
Ben
yawned. I just yawned. You didn't yawn. Tell. Are you a psychopath?
No.
You did not yawn. You opened your mouth
isn't about
slightly.
me.
Oh, so this is just confronting me? Okay, I'm down. All right, well, go through the next
stupid psychopath. Keep going, Tell.
All right, so the list of jobs with the highest rates of psychopathy.
Tuba players.
All right.
So wait, hold up. Psychopathy?
That's what it says.
I think psychopathy.
Is it like is it with a Y?
Yeah.
No, it might be either one. It could be psychopathy or
that is not a word. You do not pronounce
highest jobs
like
with
that.
the most psychopaths. The jobs with the most psychopaths. All right.
Okay.
Number 1, CEO. Okay. Number 2, lawyer. Number 3, media, TV, and radio hosts. That's us.
Uh-oh.
So
he said, that's us. It's us.
So there we go.
We're all psychopaths.
All right, and now I will say the jobs with the lowest rates of psychopathy or whatever it's called.
Psychopathy.
I don't know what number 1 is, so I'm not going to say it. Number 2, nurse. So there you go, Grayson.
He's not a nurse
You're
yet.
already on the right path.
I'm not a nurse yet.
He's on the right path.
I guess I'm on the right path to be a psychopath.
Yep.
That's weird.
Yeah.
No, he's saying they're not likely to be psychopaths.
Oh, not likely?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. They're least likely to be psychopaths or nurses.
Yeah, I was thinking that would be weird because I mean,
no,
you're
that's what I'm
always
saying.
caring
I'm
for
defending
people.
you. I'm defending that you're not a psychopath. You're a caring guy.
I like it.
We want our nurses to be caring.
Yeah,
right,
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to tell you guys a kind of like a riddle thing, and then based on your answer, I can tell you if it's the psychopathic answer. All right?
Well, I want to preface this saying that I'm the one that has presented this to the group many times, and to many other people. I have just completely forgotten about it. I go through so many things.
Ben cannot retain information very well, so he's forgotten. He's forgotten this question.
Go.
I think he really doesn't want to be the stupidest.
But I remembered because Ben asked me this question one time.
So you're saying you didn't Google it to double check it at all? You remembered it 100%?
No, I'm not even gonna read it.
You have it pulled up, though.
I'll just tell you the story.
You have it pulled up.
Well, it's in the I've got a couple other questions, and it's one of the questions there, but I'm not going to read it now.
But you have refreshed your memory.
No, because it's different from what you told me.
Okay. Well, go for it. Let's hear it.
All right. So, a young woman goes to, like, she's not like a young woman that's of age. Irrelevant, all right? Never mind. I'm sorry.
Good start. He's so smart, you guys. He is so smart.
All right, so a woman goes to a funeral. All right. At the funeral, she meets this like perfect man. Like he's attractive. He's, they're hitting it off. They're having a great time. All right. And so they meet at the funeral. All right. The next day, the woman kills her sister. Why did she kill her sister?
I mean, so Grayson, you can think through this. The second you explained the story, I remembered it.
You remembered it, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know. Grayson, I'm sure I've told you, but you've probably forgotten. Maybe that's an argument that he's not the smartest. And we'll see. Grayson, what do you think about it? Let's process it with us.
Say it one more time. Just say it one more time.
Okay, a woman goes to a funeral. At the funeral, she meets, like, her ideal man. Like, they hit it off. They have a great time talking to each other at the funeral. The next day, the woman kills her sister. Why did she kill her sister?
Gosh, I do remember y'all telling me this, but I don't remember the answer. It has something to do with...
Well, tell me why you think she killed her sister.
Yeah, first
You're not
instinct.
trying to find the psychopathic answer. You're saying the first thing that comes to your mind, why did she do it? And then I will diagnose
what's the
you
first
as
thing,
a
Grayson?
psychopath or not.
There is an answer that your mind first jumped to. What is it?
It was probably that her sister was intertwined with this man she met and possibly hit it off with.
Yes, that is the normal person response.
Yes.
All right. So, Ben, tell us the psychopath response.
I don't remember completely because remember I had one from the girl that I dated in high school that gave an answer that was like even more bizarre. But I don't even remember what the actual
was
answer
that
was.
answer?
I can't remember. I can't remember. But I just remember.
Oh, wow. You can't retain anything.
Shut up.
Idiot.
Shut up. I remember that being a thing, though, and just being like, wow, that should be the crazy answer.
Okay, so should I tell you what the
tell us what
answer? And I will say that when Ben asked me this, I answered with the psychopathic answer.
Yeah,
But
right. I
feel
forgot
like
about that.
It's set up, the question's set up in a way that it leads you to the psychopathic answer, I think.
Well, what is the answer? What is the answer?
A girl meets a man at the funeral. She wants to see the man, so she kills her sister.
I
to
remember
meet
it
him
now.
at another funeral.
Yeah.
That's the psychopathic answer. She kills her sister so that she can see the guy again.
So it's fun because it shows that the person is automatically going into like justifying killing for a reason beyond
for
anger.
Personal gain.
Yeah,
for personal gain.
Which is a blast. Like I've asked that to so many people. This was, I mean, probably 3 years ago or something like that. So it's been a while, but that was a lot of fun. It's a thinker.
Yeah.
Lots of people think. And I would say, it's supposed to be a psychopathy test, but I found when I ask it to a lot of people that you'd be surprised at how many people answer it the way that Tell did, because I think not only Tell, Brandon did too, right?
Yeah, he did.
So I don't know. I think things like that are great. So that's why like the yawning thing, I'm not with as far as a psychopath
I
test.
just thought
but
that was
that's
a good
fun
intro
one
because it would seem like I was bored, but
right.
I don't know if it picked up on the mic or not. But
well, I said something, so it's fine.
Yeah. All right. So I've got a couple more questions. Would you like to hear them?
Yes, please.
All right. An explorer and his crew were stranded in the Arctic for several months. When they were finally rescued, the explorer was reunited with his wife and told her all of his stories about how their ship crashed and the captain had to feed the remaining crew penguins while they huddled around the ice together in order to survive. A few days later, the explorer's wife became curious and decided to try penguin for herself. Despite the explorer's experience, he agreed to eat some with her. Immediately after he ate, he began to cry and killed himself. Why?
Okay, so I have an answer, but I think I might have heard this before. So, Grayson, do you have an answer off the top of your head?
Oh man, I guess maybe the fact that he was back and home safely, he had already formed a bond with the penguins, and they didn't need to eat him now, but they were.
That's such a wholesome answer. I love it. So
since he was just sitting there like crying because he just ate something that like had at one time saved his life out of necessity, but now just out of curiosity,
all right,
it made him feel guilty.
I love that. You're definitely not a psychopath for that answer. Let me tell you where my mind went. I think I had heard this before, so immediately my mind jumped to he found out that this doesn't taste the same because it turns out that they were eating humans on the boat.
Yep.
So
that is a psychopathic answer. They ate the dead crew. And it was not penguins.
Yeah.
So that's just what he told his wife.
But exactly what Grayson said is the normal response.
Really?
Yeah, that's not just Grayson being a nice guy. That's what you're supposed to think, is that you feel remorse for eating the penguins, or that it reminded him of that hard time and he was crying about the hard time and he got depressed.
Yeah, and I hate that I don't
PTSD
remember
type thing.
I hate that I don't remember if I had heard this or not, but I will say that the first thing my mind jumped to is the penguins and humans. So
I did the same.
Yeah.
I went to the same place as
so
well.
So we're psychopaths. That's all good. Give us another. This is awesome. I love this.
All right. Here, I'll read. This one I did not answer in the psychopathic way.
Okay.
I thought this one was cool. There is a very close couple with only one teenage son, forming a tight-knit bond and almost strange sort of family. Every day, the couple walks their son to school. Unfortunately, other kids see this action as silly and start bullying him for it, causing the son to come home in hysterics every night. Slowly, the couple begins killing individual children from the school at random. Why are they doing this?
Can you tell the first 5 seconds of the thing? What is the couple? They're just a very close couple.
It's a mom, dad, and a teenage son. And the mom and dad walk the teenage son to school every day. And he gets bullied for that.
Yeah.
So the mom and dad begin killing random kids that go to the school.
Okay, so my first instinct is that they're killing them because they're making fun of the kid. But I just have a hard time thinking that is the psychopath answer. And I'm racking my brain trying to think of what the psychopath answer might be.
I think
they're killing kids at random. They don't know who's making fun of them.
Oh, did you say that?
Yeah, I said they're just killing random kids at the school.
But that still holds up, that they're killing them because they just assume
could be killing them because of that, yeah.
They're mad. But
that's not the psychopathic answer.
I don't know what this, Grayson, do you have any idea what the psychopath answer
would be? The kid would have to be involved if it was psychopathic for some reason, because you said they were a close-knit family, right? They had a tight-knit bond.
I mean, that is true, but that's not why. The tight-knit bond is just to explain why they are walking their
to school together?
high school son to school.
Yeah.
So obviously the way it's a psychopath, just me trying to process it, the way that you would get a psychopath answer is that you're trying to justify the killing for a reason beyond just the kid is being made fun of, right? So what is the other reason? I mean, the only thing that pops into my mind would be the parents just want to kill people or something like that. But
or
that
maybe
obvious.
The parents only think that their child is righteous enough to live, you know what I mean? So if he's getting bullied, then they might attribute those negative feelings towards any other high school kid.
That's pretty good. That's pretty dark. All right.
The kid's been dead for years. Something. I don't know.
What'd you say?
Wait, what'd you say, Ben?
I just said the kid has actually been dead for years, and they're walking nothing to school every day, and they kill people along the way. I don't know. Yeah, here's the real version.
Psychopathic answer. A psychopath would seek to remedy the situation in an unsettling and unusual way. The couple began killing children because with a murderer on the loose, other parents would likely start walking their kids to school as well, making them look normal.
Yeah.
Oh,
That makes sense.
That's good.
I
Isn't
like that.
Awesome. That's wild.
Yeah,
I
that's
kind of
twisty.
wish my mind went there because I
Yeah.
respect this person. That's clever.
That one was my favorite one. I just got chills. I was like, man, that's freaky.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Big fan
That's
of
wild.
that.
All right. I'll read a couple more then. All right. So here, your apartment building is right next to another apartment building, so that when you look out your window, you can see into the windows of other apartment buildings as well. One night, as you're eating dinner, you look out your window and you see a man murdering one of the residents in the other building. The murderer looks at you. You can clearly see his face. Suddenly, he begins moving his pointer finger up and down at you. What does this mean?
He's counting the levels of where you are in the building, and he's gonna come kill you.
Psychopath.
Is that the Psychopath answer? Because that's a movie.
Yes,
that's a movie.
Psychopath answer.
Dude, for some reason, my first thing was he was pointing behind him, like somebody was behind him. Like,
Ooh,
they were a
that's
team.
freaky.
What is the correct answer there?
The normal person thing is that he's telling you not to call the cops. He's saying, like, be quiet, like you don't see anything.
Have you ever seen the movie Rear Window?
No.
It's got the guy from in the original Batman movies, or not Batman, the
Michael
the original Superman movies.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about? You know, the guy that like breaks his legs, right? And he can't move. That actor, well, he's in a movie like past the point where he can't like move, and it's this movie, and the concept. I might be saying this completely wrong, but
That sounds cool though.
yeah. Well, so he can't see anything, so all he has is a binoculars, and he looks outside, and I'm pretty sure he sees all kinds of stuff, including a murder. I think it might be like an Alfred Hitchcock kind of thing, which if you haven't seen Alfred Hitchcock movies, highly recommended. They're fantastic. But yeah, and also I think I might have heard like a riddle similar to this, and it might be something to do with that movie, but it's like how, you go up 7 floors and 3 over, but that's not the right person. Why? Because you're counting the lobby as 4-1 or something. Different things like
that's
that.
in Friends.
Is it?
Joey,
Okay, well maybe that's what I'm
Joey
thinking
trying
of.
to go get with the hot girl.
But yeah, my mind went to that, and that doesn't seem that crazy to assume.
No, yeah, it doesn't.
Where did you think there, Tell?
I thought the same as you. I read that one not because it was interesting, just because I want to build my case that you are a psychopath.
Oh, and you knew that I would do it.
Yeah.
Grayson, is that not, you thought that there was somebody behind him?
I mean, I thought that would be a freaky thing. Yeah.
Okay. So not psychopathy, really.
Yeah.
More like you believe in ghosts.
I figured he would have given him like a side to side finger wave instead of a up and down counting type. If he was saying don't call the police,
Yeah.
That is
so
clever.
That's why
though.
I didn't think of that.
All right, give us another one. This is so fun. This is the most fun I've ever
like
had.
this too.
Yeah. All right. A murderer kills a man and leaves the body in an elevator with several large windows. Yet after leaving him, he stands outside the window and stares at him for a considerably long time. Why?
The murderer stands outside.
The murderer kills a man, puts him in an elevator that is like all glass, okay?
Okay.
So you can see a dead man in the elevator, and then he just stands and looks at the elevator. Why does he do that?
He's waiting for it to go back to another floor.
Well, I'll say it says he stares at it for a considerably long time. So let's say it goes up and down multiple times.
Is it a one-way mirror?
No, it's literally an elevator with glass windows.
You say me like I don't know.
I don't know. I guess he probably just wants to look at his
This
work.
is similar to another one we talked about.
Okay, don't tell me. Just vamp while I'm thinking.
Maybe he just wants to look at his work, or my first thought was that he wanted to send his kill to heaven since the elevator would go up.
Wow.
So
nice.
it'd be kind of like a twisted,
He's a big
guilt
fan
thing.
of the Twilight Zone. Like the Tower of Terror.
He's not counting like in the last one. He's not. It's not a penguin human situation, so it's got to be in the first one, right? Is that the only other one we've talked about? I'm trying to compare because you said it was similar.
We talked about the cool one that none of us got the psychopathic answer to.
Oh, okay. So he's waiting. Somebody is getting on. People are getting on the elevator and dying when they're on the elevator, or something.
Is that your answer, or are you asking a question?
Well, yeah. So here's the thought process. So he killed somebody in an elevator, and that person died by getting in the elevator, and he's just watching more and more people die as more and more people get on the elevator.
Okay, no.
That's
so it's
answer.
Literally the same answer as the taking the kids to school. He's trying to look normal. All right, so there's a dead body in an elevator.
Oh.
All the normal people are looking at the elevator just in shock.
Yeah.
So he's also trying to blend in by looking at the elevator, because if he just walks away, that looks suspicious.
What's the psychopath answer?
That's the psychopath answer.
What? That seems normal. That's what a normal person's going to do.
I know. That's why it's the psychopath, because he's the one that killed it. He's not like, so the murderer would try to get away. Unless he's a psychopath, he's going to try to blend in.
So the non-psychopath
so that he doesn't
answer,
look suspicious.
Yeah. So that's the thing where it's like, you're not really looking for the non-psychopath answer in that. There's really only the psychopath answer in that one.
Well, yes. Yeah.
Okay. I like that, though. I wouldn't have thought of that, though.
I mean, it's the same as the other one. Like, why would the people kill the children?
Yeah. You're just on a
because there's no
wavelength.
there's no normal response of why they would kill random children.
Yeah.
Like the first one with the funeral, the normal person response is, why would she kill her sister while she likes this guy? Because her sister and this guy have a relationship or something.
Right.
You know.
Do you have more?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
All right, so a murderer breaks into a man's house one night with only a knife, but he didn't know that the man he aimed to kill was in the kitchen instead of the bedroom. When the man saw him, he got scared and ran into his living room closet, grabbing a knife on his way, but failing to grab a phone. He locks himself in the closet, and then he decides that he's going to get out and face the murderer. How does the murderer end up killing the man?
He locks himself in the closet, but fails to what?
Sorry, the way this is a Reddit post. The way the person worded it is weird, so let me just paraphrase it again, because I didn't like how he worded it. It was confusing to me, and I read it the way he said it. All right, so a murderer breaks into a man's house with only a knife to kill the man. Okay?
Okay.
But the murderer breaks into the bedroom to kill the man. The man is in the kitchen, and so he hears the murderer. He grabs a knife and runs and locks himself in the closet.
Yeah.
Okay? So how is the murderer going to kill the man?
The wife's going to be there in some sense, right? That's what I'm thinking. Threatening the wife.
This is a man that lives alone, let's just say.
Oh, I don't know why my mind immediately went to his wife. Watch out. Grayson, what do you think? How is the murderer going to kill the man?
Yeah.
Isn't it just with the knife?
Potentially.
That's my first thought. The murderer has a knife, so he's going to use the knife.
He's not able to get to the phone, is that what you said?
The man in the closet does not have a phone. He's locked himself in the closet with a knife. So he has a way to defend himself, but he's in the closet and the murderer is not in the closet. The murderer is just in the home. How is the murderer going to kill the man in the closet?
There's got to be a clever thing with this. But
I don't know. My first thought was the murderer calls the police, acting like the man is the person that broke in with a knife. Since he has a knife hidden in the closet, the police might kill him. But that's a real big if. don't
Yeah,
know.
give us the real
That's
answer.
pretty good.
Give us a real answer.
Good. All right, so some people would say that the murderer could just burn the house down. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's smart, but a psychopath would argue that's too impersonal. So the psychopath answer is that he pretends like he's leaving the house, but he gets behind the door so that when the man comes out to call the police, he then murders him. Because he wants to kill him with the knife.
Okay, yeah. Well, to me, the psychopath answer makes more sense than the setting it on fire. Because the second I'm in the closet and my place is on fire, I'm running. I'm not just hanging out like, oh,
yeah,
the murderer. Yeah, okay, I like that one. I like that.
Yeah,
clever. These are sneaky murderers, though. I feel like.
Yeah,
but we're talking about psychopaths.
I mean, the smarter murder would be to burn the house down, right?
No, because he can get out.
Well, you could barricade the closet door.
Yeah, I guess that's what you would do.
All right. I've got two more.
All right.
Two more of these questions. After a long and horrible day of emotional abuse and annoyances, a man decides that enough is enough and he's going to kill his boss. He goes to a store and has to decide between buying a $5 knife and a $50 knife. Why did the man buy the $5 knife?
More people buy the $5 knives, so it won't be weird that he has it. That's my answer.
Nice. Smart.
That's a psychopath answer? It probably is.
I don't know. I guess my first thought is his boss isn't paying him enough, so he's just going to cause him more pain with a $5 knife than he would a $50 knife, because it's probably a cheaper blade.
Grayson, psychopath boy. Yes.
Well, you've conditioned me this whole time.
Yeah, the $5 knife is lower quality and probably more dull.
We're almost competing to see who can come up with the psychopath answer. That's a good one. Yeah. I like that one.
Yeah. Well, after reading all these, I did think, the $5 knife is going to cause more pain, but I also was thinking, the first thing that popped into my head was, why spend $50 when you can spend $5 and still get the job done? But then immediately after that, I thought of the more pain thing is definitely going to be the psychopath thing. And
I think some of mine was a little psychopathy, because I was thinking of it like, I'll get away with it because if they do find me with the weapon, it's less suspicious.
True. Yes. Yeah.
So that is a little sus on my end, but
a little sus. All right, one more. This one's just kind of weird. Okay.
I'm down.
You are asked. All right. So sorry. Imagine yourself walking through a dark, eerie woods late at night. Okay. Your heart is pounding and you hear strange sounds all around you. Suddenly, you hear and feel breathing behind you. You whirl around in terror. What do you see? It's multiple choice, okay?
Okay.
A wild animal. B, a pale person of the opposite sex. C, a shadow figure. D, a dog. E, nothing. F, a giant bug.
I'm not going to lie. A dog was the first thing that came into my head.
Me too.
Before you
said
anything.
Dog the whole time.
The dog is the psychopath answer. It's the only one. It's the only one that's...
What?
Wait.
Why? That's so dumb.
They're unsure why, but psychopaths tend to see a dog standing behind them when asked this question.
That's the best one.
Okay.
That's insane. I didn't think of a dog at all.
What did you think of?
Well, after reading the options, I thought a pale person of the opposite sex would be a scary thing to
I was thinking dog before you read out multiple choice. Or were you Grayson?
Well, I mean, I wasn't really thinking a wild animal, but I was thinking some kind of animal, and so domesticated animal fit the bill, and so when dog came up, I was like, oh, it's dog.
That is wild that is the first thing that was in my mind.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I just think it's so weird that I gave you A through F. Only one was the psychopathic answer, and you both chose it.
Hey, we're jealous.
And it's a dog. It's a dog. Dogs aren't scary.
That's why I didn't think. Why was it a scary situation?
Because you're supposed to be scared. And then what do you see when you turn around and you're scared?
Well, yeah,
Would you see a
usually
dog?
when
No.
you're scared, it's for dumb reasons, right?
Oh,
You're
well,
like-
I guess if you're thinking that way.
You're
but,
scared of the
Yeah.
dark, and you turn the lights on, and nothing's there.
yeah.
That's kind of what was going on in my head.
All right. Well, one of the comments, one of the Redditors was trying to figure out why it was the dog. And they said, a dog seems the least terrifying. And then I thought, if you choose a dog, why would you be scared of the dog? And it could be the connection to the police, because police dogs, so it could mean that you're caught. But I mean, that's just a
Yeah,
stretch
that's a
of
stretch.
Some Redditor.
I don't buy that. That's not what's going on in
Yeah.
my head, but I'm
I
no
just thought that was-
psychopath.
Yeah, sure.
Where am I? That's awesome. Yeah, those were great. Is there more that you wanted to do with that, or you want to move on?
Well, I have a list of it's a test of like 20 questions that we could go down if you are interested, or we could call it there.
Okay, could we go down it like super fast, and we'll see if like the three of us combined are the psychopath answers. So we pick whichever one we think.
Well, it's
we
not that type.
believe
It's
on?
like it's characteristics of a psychopath. So like question 1 is, do you have superficial charm?
Okay,
Question-
yeah.
question-
I say
yeah.
go through this because I have some thoughts. I definitely think I
Okay.
have superficial charm.
Yes. I would agree that you do.
Because
Would-
I definitely can like see people, and I know like how they
Yeah.
need to be treated for me to like fit in with them.
Yeah, you're a charming guy. No one feels awkward around Ben.
Thank
All
you.
right.
That's
Grayson,
cute.
do you have any input on that, or should we just keep moving on fast?
Yeah, just keep moving on. I don't really.
All right.
We'll just
do you
take this
have-
for me.
Do you have grandiose sense of self-worth?
I don't think I'm
No.
grandiose, but I think I'm probably like in the middle, right? Because I don't think I'm the greatest in the world, but I'm not bad.
Well,
I'm
this
pretty
one
good,
I
dude.
definitely do, right?
Oh yeah,
Don't you guys
for
agree?
sure.
Yeah. All right. Do you have an excessive need for stimulation or proneness to boredom?
Yes. I'm literally
Yeah.
always
Yes.
listening to a podcast or music or something. So
Yeah.
all of us
All right.
on that one.
Yeah. Are you a pathological liar?
No. I don't really lie.
I would say no, not really.
Grayson?
I would say no, not really. Too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look
All
at
right.
us.
Are you manipulative?
When I want to be. Like,
See,
yeah,
I don't
if I-
know. I don't
can
think I
be,
can
for
answer
sure.
this one myself because I don't know.
I can't think of a situation where you manipulated me, except for the fact, like, when I didn't want to be your friend and you, like, manipulated me into being your friend again. But, you know,
Yeah.
that was so long
Yeah,
ago.
I don't know.
I can't think of, like, a certain point where I was a manipulator, but I feel like if I needed to manipulate somebody, I could definitely do it.
Yeah.
Like, I have that
All right.
ability.
Do you display a lack of remorse or guilt?
No, I'm
No.
remorseful.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I'm guilty. Do you have a shallow affect?
Shallow.
Which
No, I don't think so.
shallow affect? This means
I don't
this
think
just
I do.
means you feel little emotion. So,
Yeah, I'm fine.
are you callous or do you lack empathy? Which is kind of the same question as the
so
last
skip
one.
that one.
All right. Do you have a parasitic lifestyle?
Meaning you leech off of other people?
Yeah.
I don't think I do. I'm pretty independent.
Yeah.
Grayson?
Other than when you were my friend in high school for the clout.
Yeah, that was the sole reason. I didn't like you. I don't. Grayson,
I
you
mean,
think
I
you're a
don't-
leech?
I don't. It's hard to say because does my wife count?
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
what I was thinking.
Like
Well, you're the only one living
like,
with somebody.
I know. I depend on her.
I would say
right
that's
now
just
in this
regular.
particular time. Yeah, I know. So it's just kind of hard to.
All
I would
right.
say in my mind, I definitely don't think
that's
of
what
myself
matters.
as one because
Yeah,
I
I
really
don't
try
think-
not to be.
I would say he doesn't.
All right,
right.
next.
Do you have a history of promiscuous sexual behavior? Ben completely does,
No,
right?
no.
Yeah, for sure.
Ben got out there, man.
No, not
Yeah.
me. Not me.
All right. Do you have
You guys don't
want
wanna talk about that one.
What?
You guys don't want to talk about that one. We'll move on.
Do you want to talk
It
about
was a
that
no.
one?
No.
It was a
None
no
of us
for
are
everybody.
promiscuous.
We'll move on. We'll move on.
Do you think we're promiscuous, Ben?
I mean, more promiscuous than me. Grayson's married. He's over there having sex. And
I'm married.
But that's not promiscuous. He's all right. Do you have a history of early behavioral problems? So I did. We've talked about me
you
being
were a
a
little
terrible
brat.
child as a kid.
And
so.
you didn't even outgrow it. So I
Wow.
think I was pretty fine.
Yeah,
okay.
no, I didn't.
I talked a lot, but that's why I have a podcast. So.
Do you lack realistic long-term goals?
No, I have a lot of goals.
Definitely not.
Bus
Are they
life,
realistic?
the compound, so
For
realistic.
sure.
Dude, yeah, we're totally doing those.
Yeah.
All right. Have you had many short-term marital relationships?
Well, Grayson's only been married for a couple weeks, so I think
Technically.
yeah, I think Grayson feels that way.
But it's ongoing, so
Yeah. Well,
All
those
right.
are the only good ones, really. The other ones are like
That's
overly
awesome.
impulsive, not really great. Juvenile delinquent. No.
I feel like we answered really good most of the time. The one that was concerning me the most is like me being able to like the charming thing is obviously like a little psychopathic because that's what a psychopath would do. But
Well, is Prince Charming a psychopath just because he's charming?
But I think it's the matter of like, are you doing it intentionally for your own gain, or are you just doing it to do it? You know what I mean? Like, is it a
just
natural
your
thing?
personality?
Yeah, it's a
Right.
natural thing for me to get along with everybody, or
Yeah,
do I?
or is it a front?
Or do I mentally like think it and then do it?
Yeah.
I guess it's the
Interesting.
difference between capability and personality.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Because you can be a great actor,
I've been
And
acting
that's-
like I'm
that's
Tell's
a
friends for a
different-
year.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
Pretty poor
awesome.
job,
Acting.
though. I don't believe it.
So where are we landing? Grayson's definitely not a psychopath. Me and Tell
No.
might be psychopaths.
I think you were the most
we're- again,
psychopathic, Ben.
We're on the spectrum.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Bringing
You're on the
this back.
spectrum, Tell. And you put yourself there, too.
Oh,
Nobody
man.
else.
All right, well, Grayson, bring us on to your topic.
All right. I don't know how long we can talk about it, but so if as a hypothetical, all right, if you were in a helicopter, this is a two man flight. All right, we're just gonna completely switch the script to the air now since we've been on the ground for a while.
Nice.
If you're in a 2-man flight vehicle, so a helicopter or an airplane, but it's just two people, and you were the passenger, okay? There is a just an experienced pilot that's piloting the plane, and let's just keep us over the ocean for safety's sakes, just in case, Are you confident that you could, if the pilot has a heart attack, safely operate the plane?
Yes.
And maybe not safely operate it, but at least make it happen,
Of course, Tell is immediately like, yeah, 100%. I don't even need any
Easy.
help. If I needed to land a helicopter right now, I could do it. Of course, Tell's going to think that. I would ask, am I allowed to be on the phone with like mission control or something so they can like steer me through it?
Oh, that's smart.
For sure. Okay, any normal life-saving scenario is a go. So
Okay.
you're able to communicate. Also, you would be able to move the pilot if need be.
Oh, yeah.
So you would have to probably move them so you could get into the.
Well, that's the
the
only
pilot's
way
position.
that I could do it or that Tell could do it. Tell, there is no way you can do it on your own. Have you been in a helicopter or seen an airplane? There are so many buttons to press. There are
Yeah,
so
but-
many things. You would not be able to do it without somebody telling you what buttons to
Well,
press.
my thinking is I don't need the,
I don't need the
if-
buttons.
if we're just landing the plane, all I need to figure out is what button opens up the the wheels, right?
Or if it's in autopilot or whatever, or locked position, you need to figure out how to take it out of locked position.
Well, I would feel like that would be on the... If any pilots are listening, like, let me know. Actually, my cousin's just got engaged to a pilot, so I can ask him about it.
Abby's dad is a pilot, but I don't think he listens.
Yeah. Well, I would assume that the autopilot thing, would be near the, because you control it like in joystick fashion.
Yeah.
So I would assume that the autopilot thing would be near that joystick thing.
You would assume, but
right.
there's probably like thousands of little things to click.
In
that area.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying if if there's a scenario where the pilot is incapacitated and somebody is like, who wants to take responsibility and try to fly this plane? I'm going to be like, sure, I'll give it a go.
Yeah, I just think
I'm not going to...
If we're talking about, like, even with help, it would be difficult for me to say, because I don't even know. Because there's a certain, like, you got to have, like, a sense for those things, right? Like, you have to know how fast you're going and how close to the ground you are, that if you're not ready and you can't tell that because you don't have the experience, you could just end up slamming into the ground and causing an explosion.
Okay, are we talking like a big passenger plane or something like this?
Yeah, no. But even if you're in a plane, if you're in a plane,
if we're talking, listen. If we're talking a big passenger plane, sure, I need the mission control guys, the air traffic control, to tell me what to do and when to come in, But if we're flying like a crop duster, stuff like that, they don't have all the dials. It's just the joysticks. And by the way, a crop duster and stuff, like most of those types of planes just have the wheels out all the time. A lot of them do.
Okay, and then...
So then you can just literally just...
Well, let's switch to helicopter.
For the best.
I think a helicopter is 100 times harder to steer.
They have a lot of dials, but let me talk about this. So, in the Drake and Josh episode where they're on the helicopter and they're panicking?
Yeah.
You guys remember that?
The skydiving one?
Yeah, I'm not sure how helicopters work, but if the helicopter was to just run out of gas, would the motor just keep spinning really fast and then just stop? Or would it just start slowing down so that, would the helicopter just fall out of the sky, or would it just kind of glide down?
Oh, it would fall out of the sky. 100%.
It wouldn't just start running out of gas and the helicopter blade would just go slower and slower?
I think if you just run out of gas, they have helicopters now that have to have that built in.
No way. That doesn't make sense.
It's not even a built-in feature. I'm just saying
that does not make sense.
If you give a car gas, it keeps moving. I understand this is a different concept, but it's sort of similar to where, like, if you gas a car and you run out of gas, you're going to keep moving until you hit the brake. So as long as you don't stop the propellers, I'm hoping that the helicopter propeller is just going to keep going and it's just going to get slower.
No way.
And yes, you're going to fall, but maybe it would, still have some sort of lift.
Well, first of all,
cushion it.
It's not just about the engine with the steering. You need that gas to be able to. A helicopter is like a pin on the paper. You have to
other.
It's going to flip around and stuff. Like it's not going to be able to stay balanced. And then it just becomes like a rock in the air. Like, or like, so no way it does that. No way.
Okay. It was a good thought, though.
Yeah, I mean, it would be cool. They should make that. But I think if anything, they have to have, once you're at a certain level of gas, then the propellers start to slow down to where you can't get up higher. You know what I mean? Right. That's how you would do that, I think. If I was a helicopter designer, that's what I would do. But yeah. So my final answer is with help, maybe. Without help, no way. I would not know what I was doing.
Well, part of that, I mean, we've talked about this before. It's a mind game, If you go in thinking that you can't do it,
except it's not, Tell.
You don't have.
There are some things that you can't do, Tell.
I understand, but I'm just saying you have a greater chance to accomplish things if you go in thinking that you have a shot. If you go in thinking, I'm going to fail this test or I'm going to crash this plane because I don't know what I'm doing, you're probably going to fail that test and you're probably going to crash that plane. But if you remain calm and confident, you're going to have a better chance, right?
Yeah, but how much of a better chance are we talking? When we're talking about, I don't know how to fly a plane and I'm approaching flying a plane. Think that you can do it? Sure. But does that help more than 5% at the most? No way.
Well, it doesn't matter how much it helps. Like, if in a life or death situation, any percentage, you want to take that advantage, right?
I mean, I understand, but when we're just talking about blanket answers, can you do it or can you not? Is it really helping you if you're in this right now to say right now that you could do it? I understand in the moment, yes, it helps. But right now, we're not in the moment. Can you do it or can you not? It's not going to help your chances in this situation.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just conditioning myself in case the day comes.
That's essentially what you're doing. You're like, if I tell myself I can't do it now, then when I'm in the moment, I won't be able to do it. Which is crazy to me. But I don't know.
Well, Grayson, what do you think? Are you confident in your abilities or?
I think I could get it down with injuries.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not saying I'm landing
sure.
complete. Like, I'm not saying I'm landing perfect landing.
I'm alive though. I think I'm alive.
Yeah.
Most definitely with help, but without help, I think in a helicopter I have a much less. I'm much less likely to land it safely, or even because of the potential of just like going out of control, you know?
Yeah.
A plane, you can just go kind of just down and, you know, you got to just judge the angle and, you know, pull off the throttle and pull up on I feel like that a plane would definitely be easier to just do if you don't have help. So, but in a survival situation, I think that I would definitely be feeding into the mentality that Tell's talking about.
Oh, for sure.
But in the moment, I agree with Ben that I can only think of it like this, and so that's why I answered that way.
That's why we keep Tell around or keep Grayson around. We need that nice like middle between me and Tell.
He said he could do it. He didn't say he could do it regardless. He just, you know. But all right, so I'm going back to we're all saying the helicopter's harder. You know, maybe the helicopter would not be. It depends on if you get lucky enough to figure out how to keep the helicopter. You know, the helicopter, I think, automatically wants to stay stable. I don't think it wants to fly out of control.
No,
you don't have to hold it and like fight it to keep it stable. I'm pretty sure you can get up and walk away, and the back rotor is kind of automated to keep it right.
The only thing, though, is in this scenario, the driver is becoming incapacitated, and they probably have their feet on rudders. And when their body goes limp, that's going to cause it to start going out of control. And the time it takes you to get him out, you're going to have to regain control. So you're not just going to be
okay. Well, that changes
steering unless the scenario changes and he's got it on autopilot, and you are looking at a map together, and then all of a sudden he has a heart attack or something. Yeah. But in this scenario, I would say that time it takes, you would definitely be able to control a plane easier than the helicopter.
I just think...
Oh, for sure.
I'm not sure.
If you're high enough up, I definitely think if you're feeding into that mentality, I can do this, you might be able to get the helicopter under control. And if you're over water, at least you're not like, oh my God, I'm about to die, dear God, at least you're like, just bracing for the water.
I have a question.
Hold on. My thought for the helicopter is that if it was stable, all you have to do is figure out how to lower it so you don't have to worry about, with the plane, you have to keep moving. A helicopter can stay stationary, so all you have to do is just figure out how to go down.
I'm pretty sure
plane, you
if
have
you
to keep moving.
You need to,
so you could miss a runway or something if you're in the plane.
I'm pretty
sure.
sure
a helicopter, you can land at multiple sites.
With it, we're talking about like letting off the engine a little bit to be able to set off the helicopter, right? To set it down.
Back to the spinning thing?
No, letting off the engine in order to set it down. That's what you're doing essentially. You're letting this go down, right? When you cut that immediately, I know, because if you've ever seen like a helicopter do tricks, you cut the engine or whatever, it flips like immediately. So that's why I'm concerned. It can't just want to be this way 100% of the time. It can't want to be like straight up. I'm pretty sure you're having to monitor it.
It depends on the design of the aircraft, then, for sure.
Clearly, we're dumb thick about this. Like, we don't know anything about...
No. We're just talking on a general level in a survival situation. How confident are each of us? And I think we've all got a good
So here's my question.
For how we feel. What's up?
Let's say you're in the helicopter, in the plane or whatever. Are you so confident that you would try to land it, or would you take a parachute? Say there's a parachute in the back. Would you rather take the parachute and guarantee your chances of being it, or risk the chances of landing the helicopter and exploding? And
are there other people?
I guess it depends. Did that pilot die though?
But you don't know that, and so in that you don't have enough time to determine that. I'm not taking his pulse. You know, if he's incapacitated, I'm probably just going to take over quick enough and try to save us both.
So you wouldn't think to clip him into the parachute or something?
It depends. It depends on how much training I have on that and how much time is going on.
We're talking about you don't have training for helicopters.
Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about if before the pilot discussed, hey, if we have any problems, here's the parachute, here's what we need to do, or if we just got on it and went,
So what do you think about that? Significant.
I'm not leaving him though. I would rather die than live with the guilt that I just left some dude that might not be dead, but he definitely passed out.
See, I don't believe that about you at all, Grayson, because you have a wife to come home to, you have a cat to come home to, and you're such a sentimental dude. You're gonna be in that scenario, and you're gonna be like, Katie, gotta get home to Katie. There's no way you're gonna be thinking. You're gonna think parachute. Oh, parachute. Maybe parachute.
I don't know, man.
I mean, that's what's in my head, at least. I don't know.
I mean, I definitely think those things would be going through my head, but what makes their life more valuable? Yes, to me, but what makes their life more valuable than his life in that scenario? And you don't have enough time to think about all that. And so I feel like I would immediately respond to them, who I am with in the present, instead of, yes, if I had long enough to think about it, I'm going to choose my family. If the plane got hijacked and I found a parachute, yeah, I'm getting out of there. But in this scenario, it's it's just me and this dude. So that would be my backing argument. But I definitely will agree that in the actual scenario, it might change because, like you said, I have a wife, and at that time I could have children, and you never know.
Tell, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. I'm thinking if I'm in a plane, I'm going to try to land it. If the helicopter is spinning out of control, I'm not sure. I would probably try to go get control, but if I couldn't figure it out and I still had enough time, I would jump out then. But the plane, I would at least be able to understand how it moves.
Yeah.
Because the plane wouldn't just go out of control. It would either be you crash it or you don't do anything and crash it, right? So I'm thinking if the plane, I'm going to try to land it. The helicopter, if I have time, so I think in the helicopter, I'm going to try to regain control. And either if I don't regain control, I die. Or if I can't regain control and I have enough time, I'm jumping out. Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that one.
I respect it. I thought that was a good tag on question. I think I definitely would take the dude's pulse. Is this guy alive? And if he's not alive, if I can guarantee he's not alive, taking the parachute. That's the safest way out. In my head,
I wouldn't feel confident
if there's enough time to do that,
to take somebody's pulse.
I take my pulse all the time.
I can't find mine.
Yeah,
dude, you could definitely
I could do
one.
It.
But the thing is, I would have it in my head that, I'm not hitting the right spot.
Hey,
if he's dead.
Well, tell if you believe that you can do
pulse, it. I'm going to be like, I'm doing it wrong.
Yeah, but then you're just looking at his chest to see if it's moving up and down and he's breathing, and you can tell if somebody's not breathing.
Tell if you believe that you can do it, you can do it. Come on.
Yeah.
All right, well.
But no, that's fair, though. And in the scenario, I had an opportunity to witness, a mock, it was kind of like a video demonstration of like a cardiac arrest. So it was like a code blue. And you don't think about like how much time it actually takes to get some of that medication out of like, because it's in sterile packaging and you have to like get it out of a thing and get it all prepped before, you know, you put it in an IV. And before that, somebody had to start the IV while somebody's doing compressions because they're trying to get medication in there to help start the heart, as well as the physicality of actually making their heart beat so that blood's still getting moved throughout the body. And so just in the moment, being nervous, you know, all of that, you know, you don't know how you're going to react in the moment. And so no matter how much you practice something or rehearse it or whatever, still in the moment, your body's and mind's going to react different than you might have thought. And you have to adapt to that.
Yeah.
So I thought that was just an interesting tidbit to throw in.
I think great topics in today's podcast. I honestly think we're getting better and better on these topics because that was a lot of fun.
Well, when we first started discussing mine, because let's just, in full disclosure, we were talking before we started recording this, and I didn't really have a great topic that I was super pumped about. And then I kind of just thought about that one, and they were like, yeah, I mean, we'll probably tag it on at the end, but we talked a good bit about it.
Oh, yeah, I think we talked like 25 minutes.
I honestly could keep going if we want to on it.
Yeah, me too. And the Psychopath
gone on
stuff.
For a while, so we'll probably call it quits. But
yeah, the Psychopath stuff was really, really interesting too, because we went from just being cognitive, like our automatic thoughts, you know, to...
Yeah,
we were like trying to
question,
like a game. Yeah, like trying to think like the psychopath. So that's really cool.
I feel like
really good topics, guys.
I feel like we were training ourselves to be psychopaths, and if we did that consecutively, we would become psychopaths. So I think that might be a future project for us. See if we can become psychopaths. All right, but yeah,
maybe that'll
tell
us who's actually the smartest, because who was able to pick it up the quickest, you know?
Yeah, seriously.
that'll solve the first argument.
Dude, I'm so excited about the IQ idea.
Yeah,
we have to do that.
Yeah.
See how dumb we really are.
We always encourage you guys to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, and we have a new one to read, and I'm very happy to be reading this one specifically. It is called Big Ben Cooper Fan, and it has been left by Leah Sneddon. She says, incredible, amazing, beautiful art, phenomenal, magnificent, spectacular, awe-inspiring, extraordinary, 10 out of 10 would listen to again. My only complaint is that Ben Cooper does not talk the entire time.
Gross.
Oh, man.
So thank you so much, Leah. She's, obviously a big fan of the podcast and of me, so we can't complain about that. Is there anything else that you guys have to say before we wrap up the podcast?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
You guys go get your friends to leave reviews. Let's see you do it.
That kind of left a sour end to the podcast right there.
I think it left a great ending. Best podcast so far, 100%. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening. We do hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you are watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. Subscribe, like the video, whatever you want to do. But subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you want to do. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Hey, Craig. What? If you don't get out of here, I'm going to tell Mom what you did last week. No, don't tell Mom. I'm getting out of here. I promise.